Hello YouTube and welcome to another episode of whatever we're doing here. My name is Darek and today I will show you how to make colorful marble candle like this one. The best thing about making those marble pattern scented candles is that it's really easy, and we're gonna start off in really standard way. So we're gonna melt some wax first, but before we're gonna melt it, we need to know how much wax we're gonna need. In my case, it's 220 grams of wax. However, if you don't know how to measure how much wax you need for one container, then I got good news for you. I made a video about it and I invite you now to watch it right after this one. So once we know how much wax we do need to melt, it's time to melt it. And I need to heat up my wax all the way up to the 176 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's gonna take a while. So I'm just gonna have some coffee. Okay, let's speed it up. The wax is melted. So now I'm waiting for the wax to cool down, and I'm waiting till it's gonna start being a little bit cloudy, because I don't want my dye to disperse too much. So I'm gonna wait for the wax till it become a little bit cloudy, then I'm gonna add the dye. But before we're gonna do that, we need to prepare our vessel. So if you're interested how I made this little DIY tool to perfectly center my wick every time, again, I made a video about it and I invite you to check it out if you want. And finally we got to the point that we're gonna pour the wax into our vessel. There are two things to remember. First one is, if we are adding any fragrance oil to the wax, we're pouring it in very low temperature, and that even have its own name. That is called Alex method, and some people doing it. However, it's very important to blend this fragrance oil into the wax really good, because at the low temperatures the fragrance oil not gonna mix and blend with the wax as good as at higher temperatures. So just something to keep in mind. And another thing is that your candle might work or might work not. It depends on the dye that you are using. What am I talking about, you're gonna ask? So I have two candles here. I use the same batch of wax, I pour it at exactly the same temperatures, and I stir my dye exactly the same way. And this is the one with these nice patterns inside. And this is the other one that the wax is pretty much dispersed. Sorry, the dye pretty much dispersed. So if you're gonna use your dye and it doesn't work, then just go with different dye. But also you can use it pretty creatively and, for example, use the one dye to pretty much disperse around the candle, and second that doesn't disperse that good to create some patterns and effects. You know, with candles it's like always just trials and errors. So the last thing we want to do is just add a little bit of dye to our candle and stir it, but ever so slightly. We don't want to disperse the dye across all the candle. We want to get this marble effect. So I hope you guys enjoy watching today's video, and I hope it will help you create some cool looking candles. So thanks for watching and see you in another episode.